Academy.com.
Hello students, in this video I will discuss about the first chapter in geography, resources and development. This chapter includes the major topic what are resources, classification of resources, resource planning, resource conservation and development, and finally two major natural resources, land and soil. Let us start our video with the definition of resources. Resource means simply the substances which is useful to human being, or I can say that any substances which is useful to human being is considered as a resource. For example, water, that is useful to human being. Then land, it's useful to human being. Then forest area, it's useful to human being. Then man-made resource like man-made things like paper, blackboard, pen, door, all the things which is useful to human being is considered as a resource. One definition is given in your textbook, that is very important. You have to by heart that definition. It's very important for your exam. I will read the definition. Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable, can be termed as a resource. Everything available in our environment. Environment means our physical environment or nature, which can be used to satisfy our needs. That is useful to human being. They can satisfy our needs. Is known as resources. The definition is not completing. Three conditions are also given. It is technologically accessible. What is technologically accessible means? One substance is found in a region, but we cannot take it with our technique or technology. We cannot consider it as a resource, but we can access through our technology. We can consider it as a resource. Economically feasible, second condition. Economically feasible means all the substances have economic value. We can purchase that thing with economic, so it is known as economically feasible. And culturally acceptable means we know that different people are living in our society. Different people have different customs and culture. So one resources is found in a region, but some people are not accepting as their culture. That is not considered as a resource. One example I will give. One area that is very much favorable for the production of meat, but some people living in the area or particular community, particular group of people living in the area, that group of people is not accepting meat as their diet. So that is not a resource for that particular community, but it is resource for another community. So these are the three conditions that given in your definition. So everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, it is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable, can be termed as a resource. I think the definition is clear. Then coming to the next important point, one diagram is given in your textbook. It's also very important. The diagram showing the interdependent relationship between nature, technology and institution. The human being is always interact with the physical environment or nature through their technology, and they are creating institution. That is the diagram showing that is human being always interact with the environment. That means they are always depend the environment for their resources. They are extracting resources from the environment. How they extract? They are extract the resources using their technology. They develop techniques for extracting the resources or things available in environment, and they are creating institution. Institution here means some production centers or industries, I can say. For example, one area is rich in iron ore. Okay, we are extracting iron ore from the underground, and we are processing in processing unit, and we are extracting iron from the iron ore. So industries are needed for that. That is considered as an institution. It's an example. So, and from this iron we are producing more and more things. Okay, so human being is always interact with nature, and they through their technology, and they are creating more and more resources. That is the diagram. Okay, and another important thing you should remember that we are always thinking that resources are free gift of nature. Actually, resources are not a free gift of nature. Some of the resources are naturally available. We are getting freely from the nature or continuously from the nature. But most of the resources are made by human being. That is, the human being, they are creating more and more resources from the available resources. Okay, so human being is an important role to create more and more resources. So human being is also considered as a resource. It is known as human resource. Very important term, human resource. What is human resource means? Human resource means human being itself considered as a resource. Why they are considered as a resource? Because their ability, their skill, their intelligence or their thinking power that can create more and more resources from the available thing in the nature. Okay, so human being is also considered as a resource. Human population. Population means number of people living in an area. We know that India is considered as second populous country, second populated country. 120 crore people are living in India as per 2011 census. India is rich in human resource. That means the abled people or the ability of people or skill of people that is considered as a resource for particular nation. That is known as human resource. So human being has a great role in creating more and more resources. Okay, coming to the very important topic, that is classification of resource. Classification of resource. We can classify the resources on different bases. If you are taking any resource, we can simply say that either it is natural or man-made. Water, it's naturally available. But the pen, it's made by human being. So any substances we are taking, we can say that either it is natural or man-made. Then different bases we can classify the resources. The first is on the basis of origin, and the second is on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of status of development. On the basis of origin, the resources are classified into biotic and abiotic. On the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable. On the basis of ownership, individual resource, community resource, national resource, and international resource. On the basis of status of development, potential resource, developed resource, stock resource, and reserves. These are the major classification. Is very important in your exam. Different questions are asking from this side, so it's very important. So let us take one by one. The first one is on the basis of origin. On the basis of origin, resources is classified into biotic and abiotic. What is biotic means? Biotic means all the living things are considered as biotic resources. Biotic means living things. Living things means the substance or things which have life. Example, fish, livestock, human being, plants. All the things has life. So it is considered as biotic resource. Abiotic resource means the substance do not have life. Non-living things are considered as abiotic resources. So on the basis of origin, resources are classified into two: biotic resource and abiotic resource. Biotic means living things, abiotic means non-living things. Okay, coming to the next classification on the basis of exhaustibility. Exhaustibility means the substance which will over, if we are continuously using, it will be over. That is exhaustible means. On the basis of exhaustibility, the resources are classified into two: renewable and non-renewable. Okay, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resource means the resources which is renewed easily or reproduced easily, or we can regenerate easily. It is not exhaust. Okay, renewable means we can reproduce easily. Example, you can clear wind energy, solar energy, water. It's continuously available, so it can regenerate easily. That is known as renewable resources. The non-renewable resources means it is not reproduce easily because it will take millions of years, or I can say geological years. Geological years means millions and millions of years is considered as geological time. So it will take geological time to regenerate. So it take millions of years, so we cannot reproduce easily. Example, metals, then minerals. Minerals are taking millions of years, then rocks, soils. It takes millions of years for its formation. So it is considered as non-renewable resources. So the second classification is based on exhaustibility, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Coming to next classification, on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership, resources can be classified into, ownership means who own the resources, who is the owner. On that basis, resources is classified into 4 category, that is individual, community, national, then international. Okay, individual resource means the owner is an individual. That means the resource that is owned by a particular person, or I can say that a private property. That means privately owned by a person. I have a land area, I have a farming land area, I have an agriculture field, I have a house. So that is the property of me. So it is known as individual resources. The community resource means the people living in the community can accessible the resources, that is known as community resources. That means all the people, the group of people can access the resource. For example, park. A public park is there in our area. Public park. Then a theatre. Then another example, a pond. A public pond is there. So these are considered as community resources. The members of the community can access this resource. So it is known as community resources. Or I can say that it's a public property. Public resources. It's known as public resources. So individual resources means it's owned by a particular person. It's a private property. Then community resource means all the people in a community can access these resources. It's a public resources. Individual resources, example, a farming land owned by a particular person. Then community resource, example, public park, theatre, then pond, a public pond is there, a swimming pool. All the members can access that. Okay. Then next is national resource. National resource means all the resources that belong to particular nation. All the resources within the political boundary of a country. Within the political boundary of a country. The resources belong to a particular nation, or I can say that all the resources, it may be private property or public property, that will seen within the boundary of a particular nation is known as national resource. International national resource, then all the resources that include minerals, wildlife, all the things. Then oceanic area, the southern part of India. Here is Arabian Sea. Here is Bay of Bengal. Then Indian Ocean is here. So 12 nautical miles. Nautical miles means the distance of ocean. So 12 nautical miles up to oceanic resources up to 12 nautical miles. All the resources within the boundary of a country and or plus resources within 12 nautical miles from the coast. Okay, that is known as national resources. So all the resources in land area with oceanic resources up to 12 nautical miles from the coast is known as national resources. Then international resources. International resource means the resources that is owned by particular institution, international institution, international institutions. No individual country can own the resources. The international resources is owned by particular international institution. For example, oceanic resources beyond 200 oceanic resources beyond 200 kilometer from the exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone. exclusive economic zone, that is a boundary. Within that boundary, a particular nation have exclusive right to do all the economic activity. That is exclusive economic zone. So beyond exclusive economic zone, that is open ocean, that resources is owned by a particular institution, that is international institution. No individual country can take that resource. It is owned by particular international institution. That resources is known as international resources. Examples: minerals, manganese minerals, then mineral oils, petroleum, the natural gas. All these are considered as international resources. Okay, these are the classification based on ownership. Then coming to next classification, that is classification based on status of development. The last classification. Fourth one, status of development. On the basis of status of development, resources are classified into potential resource, then a developed resource, stock resource, and reserves. Okay, potential resource means one resource is found in an area, but we are not using that resource with maximum potentiality, or we are not using it properly. That is known as potential resource. From example you can clear in Gujarat and Rajasthan. That example is given in your textbook. In Gujarat and Rajasthan, we know that Great Indian deserts are there. As the desert regions of India, solar energy is very much available there, but the production from that side is very less. So we are not using it properly. That type of resource is known as potential resource. Resources is found in an area, but we are not using it properly. It's known as potential resources. Okay. Then developed resource means resources are found in an area. We know the quantity and quality of that resources, and we are using it properly. That is known as developed resources. It's already developed in nature. That is developed resource. Okay. Then stock resource means the resource found in environment which have the potentiality to satisfy our needs, but we do not know the technology. Stock resource means we do not know the technology. Don't be confused with the potential resource. Potential resource, we know the technology, but here we do not know the technology to how to use it. The resources are there, but we do not know the technology to how to use it. Example you can clear. Then hydrogen, that is known as stock resources. We know that hydrogen and oxygen, H2O, that is water. Hydrogen is available in nature, in atmosphere, and oxygen is there. But we do not know the technology to combine with and to produce water. So resources are found, but we do not know the technology to use it. That is known as stock resources. It considered as a stock resources. Then last one is resource. Resource means considered as a subset of stock resource. That means it's also considered as a stock for the future purpose. We are not using presently, it considered for the future purpose. Example, water in dam. For electricity generation, water in dam we are considering for the future purpose. So future purpose, it's known as a resource. In this case, stock resources are there, but we do not know the technology. Potential resource means we are not using it properly, not developed, or not developed. Here, developed. Okay. Quantity and quality are measured for the use, and we are using it. And quality is measured for the purpose. Quantity means amount, quality means how much it is useful. What is the quality of that? Okay, these are the resources. Classification of resources based on status of development. Very important topic, classification of resources. Resources can be classified on the basis of origin, on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of status of development. On the basis of origin, resources is classified into biotic and abiotic. exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable, on the basis of ownership, individual resource, community, national, international, then status of development, on the basis of status of development. How much it's developed. On the basis of that, it is classified into potential resource, developed resource, stock resource, and reserves. So, I think it's clear what are resources and classification of resources on different bases.